So welcome, welcome. If you haven't come to a special Sunday session with me before, I'm Rachel. I live with type 1 like you do. And it's such a journey full of ups and downs. I was with a girlfriend yesterday who I haven't seen in many, many years, and we've known each other since I was in my teens. And we're both much older now. And she asked me that question, like, how is it for you, And I just got really honest. I didn't, I didn't sugarcoat it at all. I said, it's really awful. I said, it's really, really hard. It takes up all my time. I'm really frustrated. And then she said, well, so how do you cope? How do you cope? And I said, well, I think, having practices and a regular practice and a meditation practice and a pranayama practice and a yoga practice really help. But also not focusing on it like I have to stay focused on it, on managing my diabetes, but I also make sure that I focus on the rest of my life as fully as well. And that's kind of how I approach everything, really. It's like everything in equal measure and nothing too obsessively, right? So everything in moderation, including moderation. That's kind of like, how I'm dealing with this condition. And so, from that place, it was easy for us to move on into another discussion, and we didn't really talk about diabetes after that, which was great. So today, I thought it would be really beautiful to finish out the year with this meditation. It's called the Mountain Meditation. It's actually from John Kabat-Zinn. And it's a beautiful way to really sense the stability, the ever-present nature of who we are. There's always a underlying stability, right? Even though we're going through so many fluctuations, so many changes in our day, there's something that's always there, that's always steady. And this is mirrored kind of in the tradition that I'm from, which is the tradition of Vedanta, self-knowledge or Atmavidya, where we look at what is sat in life. So the word sat means ever present or truth. And the example is used of gold. So when you have a lump of gold, right, you can fashion that gold into earrings, you can fashion it into bangles, but the gold is sat. The gold is ever present. And how that gold appears is always fluctuating and always changing. And then from gold, we say what's always present in the human being, what's always there no matter what's going on. And that's consciousness, awareness. We are aware that we are aware. We are aware that we are going through changes. So the consciousness is the common thing in all of us. We are all conscious. It's impossible for us to be unconscious. Like if I asked you right now, okay, just be unconscious, it doesn't happen, right? It's impossible to shut that facility off because it's not a facility. It is the nature of everything. Everything is made up of consciousness, awareness to greater and lesser degrees. So when we're working with this image of the mountain, it's to really relate to or remember the stability of who we are, that there is something that's never changing, always constant, always present, and that is the nature of who we are. And so these practices, they don't take us to something. They're not a connection to, they're a reminder of what is already there. So underneath all the frustrations and the ups and downs, there's that constant. So let's get comfortable. Just settle in your seat, wherever you're comfortable. You might like to lie down. You can do this in whatever way you like. And just gently close your eyes. And just become aware of your breath. Notice your breath right now. Notice where the breath is in your body. Notice how it feels. Maybe notice the rhythm of your breath. And just letting your breath be as it is. Notice how each inhale rolls into the next exhale and rolls into the next inhale. And you're really just going in your timing, following the inhale, following the exhale. And just noticing if any parts of the body you just naturally want to let go and relax. And just letting everything be exactly as it is. So now expand your awareness to the sensations of your body. Notice whether you're sitting upright, lying down. Bring your attention to the surface beneath you and feel the support that it provides. So if you're sitting on the floor, if you're sitting on a chair, if you're lying down in your bed, just feeling that nurturing support of that surface. And see if you can root your body into its strength and be aware of your connection to it. So you are complete and you are whole and in the moment. And you can feel how it grounds you with its unwavering resolve. And as you sit here, visualize a grand mountain whose peaks pierce smoky clouds and continue upwards, where the air is clear and the view is endless. A mountain with slopes that are both jagged and gentle, supported by a vast foundation, rooted deep in the bedrock of the earth. This mountain is a monument to all that is solid, grand, unmoving, and beautiful. Notice, are there trees? Does snow blanket the lofty heights? Perhaps waterfalls are cascading into mist, into an open sky. So however you see this mountain, really let it be as it is. Perfect creation. So take some time. If you're not a visual person, don't worry. Just sense that grandness of mountain in you. Notice how it changes the feeling inside of you. Even if you can't visualize valleys and peaks and waterfalls, just be with that structure. So be this mountain and notice and share in its stillness. It might be a feeling of energy that flows from the base of your body all the way up to the crown of your head. So grounded in your posture, think of your head as a skyward peak, supported by the rest of your form, granting you an awe-inspiring perspective of the landscape before you. Notice what's behind you and notice what's about you. Notice which flows from your center into the distant horizon. Just be this mountain. So, what is below? What is above? What is beside? And then notice what flows from your center in all directions. Just let images, sensations, and feelings, just let them come. And take on this stability as your own. From the top of your crown down to your neck, into the balance of your shoulders, like cliffs descending into your arms and forearms, and coming to rest in the valley of your hands. Be the mountain. Notice your feet and legs and hips, its base, solid and rooted beneath you. A foundation extending up your spine and abdomen, a core of stability, the rhythm of your breath and all that moves you. A living mountain, alive and aware, yet unwavering in inner stillness. Completely what you are, beyond words and thought. Centered, grounded, unmovable presence. A mountain which witnesses the sun travel across the sky, casting light and shadows and colors across its consistent composure. Moment by moment, in the mountain stillness, the surface teems with life and activity. Snows melt, streams run down its face, trees and flowers bloom and die and bloom again as the wildlife returns and departs with the seasons. Be the mountain who will be called beautiful and inspiring and dark and ominous, and knows that it is all those things and less. Be the mountain which sits and sees how night follows day and back again, which knows the sun by the warmth it brings on rising, and the stars by the way they show in a darkened sky. Through it all, the mountain sits, aware of the changes that each moment brings, around it and to it. Yet it remains itself, still. Still as the seasons flow, one into another, and the air swirls from hot to cold and back again, and the weather turns from tame to turbulent, some so treacherous as to tear at its surface. But still, none of these concern the mountain, whose serenity is housed within and cannot be disturbed by a fleeting pure. Through it all, be the mountain. Call on its patient strength and stability. Let the mountain empower you to encounter each moment with mindful composure and compassionate clarity. So we'll sit together for a few moments, really sensing the crown as the sky, the arms as the sides, and the hips, legs, knees, feet as its base. And observing the breath and allowing yourself just to fall into that stillness that the mountain represents. And if your mind wanders, let's come back to the image, the sensation of being that mountain peak, being the sides of the mountain, being the base of the mountain. Just holding that, those sensations as we sit together, just for some time in silence. Just remember, if your mind wanders, just bring it back to the sensations and the image of being a mountain, regardless of the thoughts that are coming and going. That ever-present symbol of the mountain represents consciousness itself. And just like sounds come and go in silence, and forms come and go in space, thoughts come and go in the presence of awareness, consciousness. So just like birds and animals and plants and trees come and go in cycles on the sides of the mountain, the mountain remains. The mountain is a symbol of that pure awareness that you are, ever-present consciousness. No beginning, no end. If you feel any restlessness or you feel the need to move around, feel free. And then just bring yourself back to that image of the mountain. feeling the ground beneath you, feeling your head reaching towards the sky. And again, just recalling how this mountain witnesses the sun traveling across the sky, casting light and shadows and colors across its consistent composure. Moment by moment, in the mountain stillness, the surface teems with life and activity. Snows melt, streams run down its face, trees and flowers bloom and die and bloom again as the wildlife returns and departs with the seasons. Be the mountain who will be called beautiful and inspiring and dark and ominous, and knows that it is all of those things and less. Be the mountain which sits and sees how night follows day and back again, which knows the sun by the warmth it brings on rising, and the stars by the way they show in a darkened sky. Through it all, the mountain sits aware of the changes that each moment brings, around it and to it, yet it remains itself, still as the seasons flow one into the other, and the air swirls from hot and cold, and the weather turns from tame to turbulent, some so treacherous as to tear at its surface. Still, none of these concerns the mountain, whose serenity is housed within and cannot be disturbed by fleeting fury. Through it all, be the mountain and call on its patient strength and stability within you. Let it empower you to encounter each moment with mindful composure and compassionate clarity. So to wind up the practice, let's just bring our hands to touch. We'll bring our tongue to the roof of the mouth. And then just gently rub your hands together and separate your hands a little bit away from each other. And just feel like a ball of energy in between your hands. And then just bring your hands to your eyes. And slide your hand down your face and into the back of your neck and around to your throat in front. Slide your hands down the front of your body, over your thighs, over your knees, into your calf muscles, massaging the soles of your feet. Rubbing from your big toe right down to your little toe. Let's really get down into our legs and our feet. Saying hello to them. If you're sitting in your chair, you can just kind of pat down your legs and pat back up again. And then there's a really lovely mudra that we can do. Maybe we've done it before, I'm not sure. It's the mudra of unshakable faith. So we're going to bring all the fingers to cross each other and then just rest that over your heart, let your elbows drop. And I'm just stopping here for a few moments just to notice how that feels. Taking some deep breaths. And this is just a brilliant mudra, a brilliant gesture to use when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling like it's all frustrating and so overwhelming. Just even a few moments in this position can be really soothing. And then just gently, beautiful, and then just gently releasing your hands. And when you're ready, just coming back. And if anyone feels like sharing anything or anything they want to offer into our circle, please feel free. I will just turn off the recording.